Coming at you from Scratcher Wolf Studio, it's Rage Across the Internet presents Wherever Gaia Takes Us, a Werewolf the Apocalypse Let's Play. Starring
CJ as Nightfang.
And I'm your storyteller, Porter. 2 days after, Nightfang lays in lupus form, sleeping on the floor of the cabin's living room. You stir, sensing that you're being watched. Your eyes spring open to see the silhouette of Falling Leaf at twilight standing over you. His right arm is in a sling. Large scratches over the right side of his face obfuscate his eye entirely. His left arm and the side of his chest are covered in burns. His voice is hoarse and strained.
So, you are all alive? Then perhaps my sacrifice was worth it.
Sacrifice? But yeah, we all made it out.
He gives a soft nod and turns, beginning to walk away.
I should go for just a few moments before getting up and just heading after him in lupus. So, hey, Falling Leaf, I have been meaning to ask you. When we had all hit Station 4 first time, I got to see you do some like really cool moves and stuff like that. I want to learn. Can you teach me? I heard my grandpa tell stories about Lindo, I think. You've got to know it. Could you show me?
He turns his head, peering at you from over his shoulder.
No.
He returns to his room,
No.
shutting the door behind him.
I'm going to be like standing there for a moment, just the look of sheer dumbfounded confusion on Nightfang's face for a moment.
4 days after. Your wounds have been healing steadily. You're on your feet once more, but still quite sore, moving slowly. You find yourself in the back deck, looking out on the water. Not so much the water, though, but specifically over at Falling Leaf at twilight. His wounds, too, have been healing a little bit. You've seen him, though sparsely, moving around on his own. Any limp is gone. Arm out of the sling. He stands at the end of the dock, running through various stretches or poses, like some sort of kata mixed with yoga.
Sitting there for a little bit, probably finishing a little bit of meditation before getting up and just walking down towards the dock myself. I know you said no the other day, but come on, Falling Leaf. You gotta show me something. Please. Want to learn.
His movements stop. A single foot on the ground. The other leg bent at the knee, higher than you actually thought possible, especially for someone of his size and age. He gives you a side eye. He's back to you at the moment. Again, he states firmly,
No.
On!
He snarls and resumes his movements. Dejected, you walk back inside. Farfor sits at the kitchen table, cigarette in his mouth as he works to sharpen a series of knives, laying out like a pretty little chorus line. His gaze slightly shifts to you as you enter. You know, when I was 5 years old, I had a wee puppy. A little chow named Bernard. He was a happy, spry little boy. One day, I decided that Bernard needed a girlfriend, to start a family. So I asked my papa for another dog, a mate for Bernard. He said no, but I was undaunted. I asked again and again for weeks. So the day finally came that my dear papa broke. He had had enough of my prattling, and he snapped Bernard's neck in front of me. Do you think you can harass him into making you the Karate Kid? I can't be the first person to tell you that you don't always get what you want.
like, take a seat at the table for a moment. Oh, not first, but it's like my tribe's thing. You've got somebody here who clearly knows his shit. Who else am I going to be asking about this? I mean, I could be Dodger, but I don't know. He's clearly like, I don't know, a fucking master. Why not train with the best?
It is my experience that the best decide who are worthy to train. Perhaps in time you will earn this right, but perhaps not. No. You cannot always get what you want, but if it is some things you need, you will find a way to get it. You must know the difference, and you must figure out how to get that what you need, for you and your pack. You haven't been doing this for very long, but playtime is over.
Yeah. Right.
This is about more than you. It is about your people, your pack.
Yeah, I know, and I figured if I knew, something, how better to fight, I could help, keep them safe, keep them protected, fight better.
And you must learn to walk before you can run, n'est-ce pas?
Yeah. You gotta fucking start somewhere, and that's the problem is I'm trying to start, but just kind of gesture back towards the, back door, saying no.
And so you just thought that by starting you felt entitled to get the former Yakuza ninja master to train you.
Now that you say it that way, yeah, probably should start smaller.
Probably.
If Dodger knows how to do any of this stuff.
That is Dodger's business.
Yeah, but I haven't seen him fight yet, so I don't. I've been to see Falling Leaf a few times. Guess it wouldn't hurt to ask Dodger at least.
He may be inclined. Or so maybe, yeah, but we are not your personal trainers. He keeps that in mind.
Yeah. No. Just trying to fucking learn all I can when I can. Like one of the few moments that we've actually had to recover, I guess.
Your heart is in the right place. To an extent, your head, yes. But my point is, we are not here for you. We do not work for you. I cannot make them do a thing. I can, but won't. But as in your approach. If Dodger only choose to help, then they will do so with my blessing.
A little less crestfallen. Just nod. Okay, so, never hurts to ask one of them, that's for sure. Please point me in the right direction. You know where Dodger is.
Yeah, I believe he is out front.
Thanks, R4. Get up from the chair and start heading out front looking for Dodger.
Before you go,
Yeah?
you are going to have to make a decision about this new girl. But also, I am led to believe that the Senate's try to run off with all of your money.
We found that out the hard way, yeah.
Farfor stands, reaching into his pocket. He pulls out a large money clip that's barely suppressing the avalanche of green. He flips through it quickly and violently slams $300 bills on the table.
This is a loan. I am not your fucking papa.
Okay. If you're anything like your own, then I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna quickly shove the bills into a pocket.
His eyes narrow at the comment. He clearly didn't appreciate it, but he's gone back to work on his knives.
Watching for just a moment longer, making sure one of those isn't coming my direction just yet for quickly going out front.
Nice. You make your way outside. You see Tadger curled up in his lupus form on the porch swing. The sun is well hidden from this side of the cabin. It's nice and cool. And just dark enough that any prying eyes would mistake Tadger for a dog.
The swing and just over a little bit. Hey, Roger, you awake?
His eyes are open. He gives a soft nod.
I wanted to ask you, you wouldn't happen to know Kylindo, would you?
He said no again, did he?
Yeah. I guess I've been that obvious that R4 decided to have a talk with me about it, too.
They say even Buddha was only patient 3 times.
Do they?
I don't think that Falling Leaf is quite the Buddha. I know a few things. I can teach you what I do now.
It would be appreciated. Gotta start somewhere.
In the morning, then. Get your rest, little brother.
Okay. Thank you. Anything I should do to prepare aside from just rest?
I'll get you when it's time. And don't thank me yet. You might regret this when it's all over.
Guess we'll see about that. Before he can say no, going back inside to go take care of whatever I need to for the day. Get ready for the next.
You do. You finish your goings-on for the rest of the day and eventually make your way to sleep. You're awoken sometime later. There's no light outside yet. But Tadger's paw jostles you awake. Come, brother. It's time.
Okay. Just blinking and rubbing the sleep out of my eyes before getting up and following him outside. Probably still that half asleep stumble.
Perfectly fair.
If the sun's not even up yet?
It's not. Getting you to lead them to open the front door, the two of you head outside. Tadger immediately takes into a jog, running deeper into the woods.
Just looking up to the sky and seeing, yeah, no, it's barely even morning. Sun's not even up yet.
Not even a little.
Just letting outside, go into Lupus. Yeah, just letting outside, go into Lupus. I thought you said wake me up in the morning.
He's a good pace ahead of you at this point. If he heard you, he didn't bother to answer. However, you're easily able to follow his scent. And a short 5 minutes or so through the thick of the woods, you find yourself at a small section. There's a large tree, half fallen over, caught in the branches of an even larger tree. It sets at about a 45-degree angle. You see Dodger standing nearby. He slides into his Hamid form. He stands about 5'7", wearing a tie-dye shirt and a kaleidoscope of greens, a pair of dark blue sweatpants, and a pair of sandals. His long dark hair is pulled back into a bun, and a series of beaded necklaces and bracelets adorn his neck and wrists, respectively. His nose crinkles for just a moment before he turns to you with a smile. First things first. We need to get you limber, brother. Have you ever heard of yoga?
Talking about that thing that I've seen people pick up the VHS tapes from like the gift shops. People who were like clearly going through like midlife crises. Stuff they do.
Well, I don't really know what all of that means. It's a technique designed to help limber the body and strengthen the core. You might even get crazy and open a chakra or two while we're at it.
I did ask you for this, so I don't know it, but I'm willing to try. What I gotta do? Seeing that he's in homage, shifting back up as well. Probably about that moment that it clicks to Nightfang that, like, oh, probably need to be in homage for this.
Probably. Well, first things first. He starts walking around you slowly. He puts his feet between your legs, kicking them an equal length apart, or about shoulder length apart. That's better. He presses his hands to your shoulders. Keep those properly squared for now. Now let's focus on your breathing.
Okay.
That's in and slowly out. He's slowly circling you, simply watching you stand there and breathe. Slowly now.
Nerby. Best I can to follow instructions. You actually going to get started.
How can you focus in your breathing when you're running your mouth? In and out.
There's probably like 4 or 5 times that he goes to like start, or that I go to like start saying something, open my mouth and just shut it, thinking better of it right now.
Okay, that's a start. He stops a good 5 or 6 feet in front of you. He turns to face you now. Now, match my movements. He begins taking a few poses, in particular raising his hands over his head to form like a praying motion. His left leg up, resting on his right knee.
And just watching him get into position for a moment before giving just a shrug and slowly trying to mirror him. Literal for it?
Yeah, let's see your dex athlete.
Okay. 6, I assume?
Yeah, we'll call it 6.
That is 2 successes.
All right, you wobble a bit, but you're holding. Not bad. Now hold it. And he walks over, slightly guiding you with slight touches. Now we lean this way. And recenter. Back here. Keep your breathing. This goes on for a while. You can see a little bit of light making its way through the tree line as Dodger runs you through a series of various poses and stretches. You find yourself working up a sweat, even holding some of these positions. You're stretching muscles you didn't know you had. You were kind of shocked how difficult some of this actually is. Then suddenly he pops up. Excellent. Now that you're warmed up, let's get started.
That was the warm-up? Hey. What did that have to do with fighting?
It's not about fighting. It's about getting yourself limber. You can't be rigid. You must flow like water. The art of Kailindo is about being able to control yourself, to use your rage in your various forms, in succession, quick succession. You must learn to be like the low branch touching water. You bend, but you don't break.
read that last part out of a fortune cookie?
He cuffs you in the back of the head. It's that type of thing that would have led Falling Leaf to break your legs.
Sorry.
You're learning. So,
What now?
what now? He puts his hand on the angled tree trunk. Why don't you hop up here? We get to work on your balance.
Hey? Taking the shoes off that I probably didn't put on shoes, since this is a thing.
And he
Just
did.
gonna hop up on the tree.
You're able to climb up. I'm not going to make you roll on that. You're able to climb up it well enough.
Hmm?
You know, the angle's not so. You're able to, with the use of your hands and feet. It takes you a minute to find your balance, to stand up. All right. Now, first things first. Turn around. And let's see you lift your left leg, knee height. Hold that there. And to be clear, he had you turn so you face down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facing down, just like keeping hands not out for like trying to keep his balance, but like just a little bit out there. So if he needed to if I needed to adjust myself, I can, but I'm gonna just slowly try lifting up that leg as he instructed.
And let's get another Dex Athlete.
Is 2 successes again because of 1.
All right, again, you wobble a bit, but this is understandable. So tell me again, why is it you wish to learn the art of Kailindo?
I think I've seen Falling Leaf use it a few times, like whenever we first found him in Station 4. And seeing some of the stuff he did, it looked really cool, but it was also effective. I'd be able to fight better. If I'm be leading this pack, I want to be able to make sure I can take out the bad guy before they're a problem. Figured the tribe's got this whole thing. Wouldn't hurt to learn it to at least become a better fighter. Tools in the tool belt, if anything.
I see.
Plus, what kid hasn't wanted to learn like martial arts at some point?
Suddenly, he kicks the side of the tree trunk. It was unexpected and strong enough of a kick that you instantly fall on your ass and off of it entirely.
What the fuck, man?
You need to hold your balance. Back up. Gain a ridge.
Second, and just dusted myself off. Taking a moment and dusting myself off before getting back up. A little slower this time after falling once.
Kailindo is more than just something cool to help you fight better. Surely Gaia has given you tooth and claw. And that has been enough for the rest of the Gyro Nation since the beginning of time. Kailindo is more than that. It is about balance. An expression of violence, yes, but controlled violence. Controlled use of our rage. Understanding and mastery of our forms. It is spiritual, as well as physical. And don't forget your breathing.
Yeah. And at that point, just taking that deep breath in at that comment, it's like, okay, I get that. It makes sense, I guess.
If it doesn't, it just means you have more to learn. All things in time. Go ahead and roll that stuff again.
That stuff.
One success.
How many?
One.
Yeah. You see Dodger slowly walking around the tree, keeping an eye on you. You track him with your eyes. You see he goes to lift his leg to make a kick again, and startled just by the thought of it, you stumble and lose your balance once more. Bloody your nose up a little on the way down. Focus on you, not me. He offers a hand to help you up.
Yeah. Probably just covering my nose with one hand for a moment. Taking his. I know. It's just, if all once, can't help but think about it. Back up, and then back up to the tree.
He gives a nod, watching. That's it. We all fall. It's a matter of how we get back up.
So nodding to myself for a moment as getting back into position, just lifting the leg back up. Yeah. Gotta keep getting back up.
So you've decided to embrace your role as the alpha of this pack.
Yeah. Somebody's got something to say about it, but right now that's just Ricochet. Maybe Carly if she's up for it, but yeah, somebody's got to.
And what is your plan from here?
We'd like to know more about those stations we found out about. Find out more. Figure out what the fuck is going on with this island, why everything is happening here. Just trying to take it one step at a time right now. Not sure where to start.
Which means you intend to stay.
Yeah. We got KT here, and I don't know if I've gotten any dreams about it recently, but I feel like we still need to look after her. So can't just up and leave her on her own. And there's just so much going on here.
Yes. Mysteries unsolved. Roll again.
Hey, there's 3 successes this time.
Mysteries unresolved. Our people can't resist a good puzzle, can we? His heel strikes the trunk again. You don't budge. Very good.
You know, we feel like we're halfway through with this, or we've started finding some of the pieces, some of the threads. Just can't leave it untouched. Yeah. Get to solve a good little mystery in the meantime. That's a bonus. About the rest of y'all. Your pack.
I suspect well, we're here for now. Not a one of us likes leaving a job unfinished. And again, Chimera does give us our love for puzzles. There's certainly more going on here. And while we have done a blow to our enemies, I suspect we've only riled the hornet's nest. You're doing well here. Shift to Glabro. Roll, don't spend.
Okay. First and my large is no successes. Ones and 2 successes, so 0.
Okay, that's... It's like, what does that botch look like?
Yeah.
Now you have to be a best at. Only there are no boxes on Willow's Pass, so you will die of an intestinal blockage.
Oh, fucking horror. Guess I gotta start up a new character, huh?
I guess so. Dodger begins sifting through the ground. His back's to you. You can't see exactly what he's doing. Go on. Roll again.
Okay. Yeah, just focusing, not feeling it happen. I'll be just close the eyes and think even harder. There's 2.
All right, your form shifts. You feel, especially with your eyes closed, you feel your balance start to wane. Go ahead and roll some Dex Athlet again. No.
Mm-hmm.
Stamina Athlet.
Okay. That is 5 successes.
That is good. You manage to recover, compensating for the difference in mass. The position holds, which is thankful, because you are suddenly struck in the back right between the shoulder blades with a small rock.
Fuck. I was just shooting open again. Trying to look back at him.
Another one hits you in the shoulder. He's got a handful. Some might be acorns, you're not entirely sure. The rocks relatively harmlessly bounce off of your body and the tree trunk themselves. Clearly meant more as a distraction than an actual weapon.
We're probably keeping head lowered just a little bit out on, like, reflex. What's the point of the rocks?
To keep you focused in spite of distraction. You can't expect the world to stop while you focus on your encounter. Or what you plan to do, for that matter.
Focusing on breathing for a little while. Trying to not get distracted by the rocks. Occasional acorn. So, did y'all find anything interesting in Station 4?
Mostly violence. Though, anything else, that's more of the others' department. I am not, that sort of thing's a lot for me.
Fair enough. Wouldn't happen to have fought a, like, giant pig with a skull face before, would you?
I've never encountered them myself, but I've heard of skull pigs.
Skull pigs? That's a fitting name. Ran into 2 of them.
Then it's impressive you're still alive. I've heard they're canny foes, very intelligent.
Way smarter than the average bear, one of them.
Well, it's not in my experience that bears are all that smart. Very strong, but not particularly intelligent. I had an encounter with a bear once, in my first days.
Well, can't say I have actually gotten to encounter one. I don't tend to live anywhere near the desert.
The desert, is that where you're from?
Yeah, Vegas. Mostly just sand outside of the casinos. Do we not know Yogi Bear?
I'm sorry?
Oh, wait, yeah, fucking lupus, right. I think for one moment just having that culture shock, guess.
No, I've never met a yogi.
We could change that one day, but probably not while there's work to be done.
Bring your foot back. Put your weight on the ball of it. Keep the other knee down, bend. And bring your left arm forward.
Like this?
Very good. He takes a similar pose and does a few punching motions. Go ahead.
Try to mimic those the best I can.
That's right. 1, 2. 1, 2. Keep going. I couldn't imagine coming up from a desert.
Why's that?
I came from snow and trees and sky. And water. When I got my change, I was part of a small sept in Colorado. It was just me, Trash Talker, and Zephyr, and Ambrosia.
They're the ones who, taught you any of this, or?
A Trash Talker taught me what it meant to be Garu. He brought me in and found me after his first change. Zephyr and Ambrosia, they were kinfolk. They ran a small resort in the mountains. They taught me about humanity.
Okay, not kinfolk names I would have expected, but those are some names, that's for sure.
They were wonderful people. He looks down for a moment. He shakes his head a bit as if clearing a memory. And back to Hamid. Don't stop.
I shift him back to helmet and with the motion going. Want me to roll again to maintain that balance?
It's like you heard me pick up the dice. Don't bother. He strikes the trunk again. You don't budge. Very nice. Now to Krynos, the war form.
2 successes.
All right. Again, you take a moment. It's easier now, but it still takes a moment, compensating for the weight. The distribution is different. You feel how your body changes and start to instinctually readjust your positioning. There's no danger of falling this time. What really concerns me is the worm wolves, the black spiral dancers that Falling Leaf fought.
Who those were?
You've never encountered them before.
No, I think out of everybody in the pack, I'm the newest to this, and I've never ran into one.
And you've been very lucky up to this point.
Some stories, but
They're incredibly dangerous. A dark and twisted mirror of our own. I've encountered the worm wolves before.
how'd it go? Or how'd you beat them?
It was some time ago. There was something wrong, something off in the territory. Outside of our sept. Wildlife killed, mutilated. Trash Talker, he was very concerned. And we followed a trail. It was confusing. It was a distraction. We returned home. Trash Talker had a feeling. And he was right. The worm wolves had already attacked. They had taken Zephyr and Ambrosia. He swallows hard and closes his eyes a moment. A fight ensued, and we were victorious, but in truth, I was the only survivor. Even Trash succumbed to his wounds, the poisons of the enemy. He died slowly, and asked me to use the telephone to get word to his grandson. I followed his final instructions. I did everything I could. See, Trash had... He wrote a letter before his time came and had me pass it to his grandson. He had asked that I be allowed to run with his grandson, that pack take me in. That's how I met Carter. Le Magnifique.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to bring up a bad memory like that, but hey, at least you got a pack. Watch your back if you deal with whatever comes this way, right?
I also lost a great deal, but even then, I carry them with me. He places his hand over his heart. They're here, and in my mind, always. And if not for those events, I wouldn't have met the others. And the things I've seen and done since. I miss them every day, but... And too, good came of it as well. A balance in all things. You'll lose people you care about, too.
Yeah.
You can't let these things stop you.
Yeah. Started to learn that one myself already. We ask these. Let that stop us, then we wouldn't have taken out the scorpion freak.
And how did that feel? Avenging your packmate's death.
Well, it felt good to get the second attempt at the guy and to make it fucking stick. That felt good.
Just be sure not to let that sort of thing consume you.
Yeah. Imagine it probably gets a little too, I don't know. Yeah, I can imagine that something that run away with you. So just lucky that Baker didn't run off somewhere and us have to try finding him. We're still, after being stuck here for so long, glad I got the chance.
It was fortunate you all got out alive.
Some quick thinking on all of our parts, but yeah, we made it out. Definitely the more important part. Got a little close there at the end. See Carly slip into the Umbra apparently, but seems like she would know what she was doing.
I think she'll be good for your group, especially after losing your Strider.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait too much longer
Before
you make her an official member of this pack.
I've been meaning to ask, do you know how to do that? 'Cause, like, you know, I get asking her if she wants to join, but that's not, I'm just saying, yeah, sure, it's not it, right? There's got to be more to it.
It would be wise to introduce her to your pack totem. You're not the only ones with a say in the matter, after all.
True, I hadn't thought about that.
Remember, little brother.
Yeah, not that they urge.
Remember, little brother. There's more to being Garu than simply fighting the worm.
You're right. It's one of the easier things to focus on, I guess. Right there, after all, usually.
Certainly, and of course that is a large part of it. We are Gaia's fangs, after all. But as we are flesh, we are also spirit. We must make sure to give proper consideration to moments of the heart and the head, as well as the claw. Even now, we talk about the future, about your decision to stay here. But if this is to be your home, then this is also your protectorate. And if that is the case, then these are your people. Like Zephyr and Ambrosia were to me. We were all guided here by dreams, and perhaps the true meaning of ours was to help show you the way. I'm at peace with that if that's the case. But I have found my balance. You need to find yours. You need to find a greater purpose and a reason to call this land your home. The connection is important.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt to walk about, see what I find, what kind of trouble I can get into, and find that reason to protect this place. So then it's just where our friend lives.
The girl may be enough for now, but there should be more. All right, down with you. This was enough for today, just to start.
That's it for the day?
We'll cover more tomorrow. Make sure when you rest, you don't do so unhammered.
Okay.
And I want you to get used to your different forms. You'll need to understand and master all of them as we continue.
Okay. Don't mind anything, practice shifting some more. Get used to all my forms, right?
Correct.
Guess if you don't need me to do anything else for now, I should go and probably see about finding that purpose to stay, purpose to protect this place, huh? At least getting an idea.
I think that's a good idea.
Thanks again. Could have said no like falling leaf. Keep it in.
You're welcome, little brother. Hang in there. Things take time, but you'll find your way. With that, Dodger shifts to Krynos, running on all fours toward the angled trunk that you've been balancing on. He leaps toward it, his front claws grabbing a hold, thrusting himself forward as he vaults it, his body shifting then to the lupus form, rocketing himself through the woods. He twists his body, narrowly avoiding an oncoming tree, and lands with a roll effortlessly back into a sprint, running toward the cabin. You take a look around and notice that the sun has well risen at this point. You're not sure how long you've been out here, but it's a lot longer than it seemed. The day has started. And what will become of it is up to you. And that'll do it for now. Make sure to tune in 2 weeks for the next chapter of Wherever Gaia Takes Us, and next week for the regular episode of Rage Across the Internet. If you like what we do, Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. And you can always jump onto our Ko-Fi to give us a little support that, oh, trust me, we desperately need. You can find that at ko-fi/rage across the internet. And you can find us here, the same place you found us last week. So be sure to tune in and have some fun with us. You take it easy.